Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you. This is Breaking. The professor who was behind the rigging of election in Akpabio State in favor of the Senate President, Senator Akpabio, has been jailed by the court. But then let's look at what the fate of the Senate President will be after this epic judgment. And according to the news, the appeal court, in its ruling on Wednesday, which is today, affirmed the earlier judgment of the High Court in Akpabio State, which found Professor Ogban, guilty of electoral fraud. The Court of Appeal sitting in Calabar Cross River State has upheld the conviction and 3 years prison sentence of Professor Peter Ogban for manipulating and announcing falsified results in the 2019 Akpabio State Northwest Senatorial District election, which favored Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The Appellate Court, in its ruling on Wednesday, affirmed the earlier judgment of the High Court in Akpabio State, which found Ogban guilty of electoral fraud. The court strongly condemned his action, noting the gravity of his misconduct as a university professor entrusted with the integrity of the electoral process. Professor Ogban, a professor of soil physics at the University of Calabar, served as a returning officer in the said election. He was prosecuted by the Independent Electoral Commission Inec after investigation revealed he altered election results to favor the former Minister of Niger Delta Affairs and currently the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Ogban was convicted of manipulating results to boost Akpabio's vote against his opponent Christopher Ekpenyong of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Akpabio had since denied any involvement in the electoral fraud. It will be recalled that the then resident electoral commissioner Rake of Inec in Akpabio State, Barrister Mark Igini, spearheaded the investigation and prosecution of two university professors, Peter Ogban and Ignatius Odok, over their role in manipulating and announcing fraudulent election results. The conviction of Professor Ogban by the High Court was one of the landmark outcomes of those efforts, now affirmed by the Court of Appeal. Similarly, in February, a state High Court in Akpabio State sentenced Odok to 3 years in prison for perjury and publishing false election results during the 2019 general election. Professor Odok of the University of Uyo was found guilty of announcing and publishing fabricated results in the Esinodom State constituency election, where he served as the returning officer. In addition to the prison term, the court imposed a 100,000 naira fine. The case marked the second high-profile conviction of the Nigerian professor for electoral fraud. Odok was first arraigned in December 2020 after a warrant was issued for his arrest the previous month due to his repeated failure to appear in court for the start of his trial. The professor pleaded not guilty to the 3 charges brought against him by Nigeria's Election Commission. However, the case faced multiple delays for various reasons, including a change of defense lawyer and an incident where the defendants collapsed in the dock during cross-examination. At one point, Odok accused the presiding judge of bias and requested his recursal, a request that was granted. The state chief judge then reassigned the case, but ironically, it was returned to the same judge for continuation. This is very interesting, I must say. And I love the fact that this is happening to these men who have climbed to the echelon of their academic pursuit. You are a professor, an academics of high repute. You have been found severally, being of very good character, and you have gone to the highest level of learning. But yet, in a little case like this, you people will still be manipulating so that you give Nigerians wrong leaders. I feel that if the likes of Mike Igini takes over Inec as the #1 man, a lot of ulterior motives that we have had thus far will not be seen. I respect that guy, Mike Guinea, because he's one person that is outrightly against anything called electoral fraud. But the big question most Nigerians are asking, what will be the impact of this on, the Senate president? Because he has walked away. The election took place in 2019, which was, electoral or democratic period that will run from 2019, to 2023. He had already served as a senator, and he's through with it. So now, what will be the impact of this? The whole thing now, the sledgehammer is now falling on those returning officers who were involved in this fraud, which is the two professors. Two of them have been given 3 years imprisonment with a fine of 100,000 naira. My colleagues in the house, what do you think this? How do you think this will impact on this? In quote, electoral officers who are professors who are always found wanting in the area of elections.
What did it say the fine was? 100,000
naira and 3 years, 3 years jail term.
Notwithstanding, look at the price. Someone who ought to have been a sitting senator have been deprived simply because of your criminal act. Do you understand? And all of that, and the judiciary did us a very disservice of waiting after almost 7 to 8 years before pronouncing judgment.
No, 5 to 6 years.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Exactly.
That guy was denied justice.
Oh dear.
And now, what would you say now? Because we are probably say, well, he will say, well, nobody told me to step aside. There's no way you will tell me now to refund all my constituency money because I performed. Now, we can't keep doing this because in the long run, I could still remember what Gospel Akpabio told Falana was when they were discussing something unique. I think some weeks back when they said that this lady can take it to court and win, but Dina said, meanwhile, the process of even taking me to court, it will take a while.
Yeah.
So he understands the dynamics. He have done this before. We can do this wild business, and by the time we are through with the wild business, 4 years would have elapsed. If you want us to go that route, 4 years, 6 years would have elapsed. Then I would have gone home, gone free.
Clean.
We need to start doing something to show that we're a democratic, insane nation. If you're found guilty, plus the person who served, who knows does not deserve it because there's a way he knows, should also serve
the jail term. He denied it.
I wouldn't.
It was on your own head.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what I'm saying now.
They would have
those are the prices. Those are the prices to pay. Now, are you going to say now that? But if you ask me, this is just personal. If it's a judge that understands the dynamics of true justice, the same person is still serving this year. Remove him.
If you remove him. How does it connect?
That's what I'm saying now. Yes.
How does it connect?
He will serve if it's me. I'm just saying. I know it may not be. After all, we have seen a sitting governor being suspended. It has never been said in constitution. We can also improvise in this one. Well, the same person is still alive. The same person is still serving that constituency. So your 4 years have been denied from the date that was pronounced. Gospel Akpabio will now be removed. Will now forfeit his seat for the next 4 years. Let it be that.
Now this is the challenge. The challenge is that even Akpabio himself have denied involvement in that electioneering fraud, electoral fraud. So which means this guy did not collect any money, just feel like favoring Akpabio. Wow. So he's the one now that is carrying the bunch of wahala that is coming with it, which is a 3. And I know that this will affect his academic pursuit because ordinarily, if you are at that level, for me, I feel, you have not been found worthy in character. So for that reason, they should strip him of his professorship. Apart from stripping him, even his pension, let him feel the pains of making Nigerians to choose the right person, and you cause him to lose that seat because of your greed. I think one thing you've said is this issue of delayed justice. It's really, it's really having negative impact on our system, and it should be dealt with as much as possible. That's what we'd like to leave it. What's your standpoint on these latest